preparing to leave, you may need more than your passport. Your passport is enough for you to visa hop, and it allows you to stay in a country a certain number of days depending on the country, for now. But if you plan to reside in the country, or if you have children and visa hopping is not advised, then you're gonna need some more documents. So if you're preparing, you should get these ready. First, you're gonna need an FBI background check. The FBI.gov website has a list of providers where you can get that request processed. With that request, there's a form, you're gonna need fingerprints done, and you're also gonna need to pay for the process, which is around $18. FBI background checks are required for each adult that is traveling with you. Also, that FBI background check needs to be less than 6 months old, and you cannot leave the country prior to going to your destination country, or else the check becomes void. You will also need recent copies of birth certificates for everyone that's traveling with you. If you're married, you should get a copy of your marriage license. Some countries require that to be recent, like within 6 months. Some do not. Check with your immigration attorney to validate what your requirement is. For LGBTQIA+ persons, you want to verify that that country accepts your marriage license. Also, consult with your attorney to make sure that there's no certificate of impediment required. If you have children, you want to make sure you have copies of all of their transcripts up to the year that you want them credited. So that may influence your timeline. If you want them to complete the current school year, it's going to shorten your window. Like in our case, we wanted them to complete the year. It ended in June. The next year started in August. We had a 2-month window to move. All documents will need an apostille. This is a verification from your home country that the documents are legitimate. Some documents require more than others. Some can be apostilled as is. So for instance, our FBI background check just needed the apostille. Some documents require notarization. Our documents, like the transcripts, required notarization, a validation of that notary, then the apostille. So that was 3 trips that we had to make once we actually received the transcripts, which also took a long time. The cost for validating these documents is not high, but it does add up quickly. You also need multiple copies of these documents because in some countries they take your documents and you may not get them back. The highest cost is the cost of time to receive the documents and get them authorized or apostilled. If you don't do it before you leave and you have to reach back to get them, there are companies that can assist. That is extremely expensive and it takes a lot of time. And keep in mind that your clock starts ticking once you enter that country and that passport is stamped. So you may not have time to do all of this once that passport is stamped. Most importantly, consult with your immigration attorney for all of your document requirements. They should help you work through the process, tell you what you need, which documents need which verification, and kind of point you in the right direction, because in some cases you also need translation services. In our case, the translation occurred on the other side once we landed. We didn't have to worry about that up front. And the lawyer took care of coordinating that for some of the documents. Some of the documents we had to get translated ourselves. Your passport's a step 1, but if you plan to stay anywhere, you should get started with these other documents.